Hey guys, as you all know, on here on this platform, I try and keep my content fun and entertaining with my acting and doing all the content I do with the SCP Foundation. And on occasion, I have to make a serious video. I've done a couple on here already. And today I have to make another one because I just cannot get over the recent remarks by a certain public figure, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., one of the current administration's secretaries, on his generalization of autism. Yes, let's get into that one. And how he says that people with autism cannot hold a job, they can't love, they can't be in a relationship, they cannot write a poem, they can't do this, they can't do that. I, as you all know by now, I am autistic. I was diagnosed with it when I was 9 years old in the third grade. And I've been in a few relationships, one that lasted for 9 years. I repeat that, 9 years. So let's get that one crossed off. The second one, I have had a few jobs. I've worked at Goodwill. I've worked at Burger King. Burger King I didn't like. It was a terrible work environment. And currently I work for myself. And can you guess what I am? A poet. I have published 2 poetry books. Mr. Kennedy, 2 is 1, 2. 2. And here's a folder with about 45 more to be published into another one, my longest one yet. And here's a few from about 10 years ago. 3 to be exact, that were written on one of my very first typewriters. One of these was included in my first book, and it is called It's Personal, a collection of personal poems. And if I need to, Mr. Kennedy, I will read it for you and for everyone else. And the poem is called Just Because I'm Autistic. I wrote this poem originally in 8th grade. Just because I'm autistic, don't assume that I'm ignorant. Don't think that I can be played for a fool. Don't underestimate me just because I'm autistic. Don't think that I don't see your lies. Don't assume that I don't have any friends. Don't say that I'll never live a normal life just because I'm autistic. Does not mean that my IQ is low. Does not mean that I cannot find love. Does not mean that I'm helpless just because I'm autistic. I wrote that poem for a certain reason. I wrote that because in 8th grade, and even before that, I was severely bullied because I was different. And I wrote that because of the bullies, Mr. Kennedy. I wrote that because of people like you. Mr. Secretary Kennedy, you are a bully. Because you don't want to learn about us. You don't want to do your research. And you are in a position of which you should be doing research. Autism is not an injury. It is not a virus. It's not something you catch. It is a neurological and developmental disorder. And it can be genetic. Okay? It's genetic. Like most disorders. Genetic. And I have written poems since the 8th grade, published 2 books, another one in the works. And there are 2 or 3 dozen more that I've lost over time, but I wrote them. And so in my life, from 8th grade till now, meaning as of now about an hour ago, I've written a total of about 800 poems. And there's about maybe close to 100 that have been published, not just in my books, but also in other books. There are anthology books that I've been working with other publications. They have 3 of the books have one of my poems in each edition, and there's a 4th one being done as well. My whole complaining with this is that you should not generalize this because autism is a spectrum. Yes, there are people with autism that need round-the-clock care, that are nonverbal, that cannot do things for themselves, but there are many, like myself, that can live lives and do things that we want to do. We can love. We can have families. We can write poetry. We can write various things. We can hold down jobs. We can have hobbies. I write. I collect antique typewriters. That's a hobby. This machine is from 1928, and it is more useful than you. I'm sorry to say, I mean that with all due respect. But at least when this thing is needed, it does its job correctly. It does what it was designed to do. So I'm going to end it here just because that's all I can say. That's all I have to say. Don't generalize people that have autism because we're not all the same. Like all humans, we're not the same. And that's the point of being humans. We're all different. We're allowed to be different.